Hello, my name is Sarah Mackenzie, and today we will be discussing From the Journals of Lewis and Clark by Meriwether Lewis, page 95 to 104, in the Norton Book of Nature Writing. So the first question is, why should this reading be included in our course syllabus? Well, I believe it should be included because it takes personal look into pre-Western dominance, which entails a romantic view of nature through a personal and primitive point of view. Here's some historical background and basis of Romanticism. Lewis and Clark were smart men who were very knowledgeable. Before their expeditions into the West, they studied medicine, botany, astronomy, zoology, and geographical journeys to prepare. Now, I thought I would mention this because many know the preface of the Lewis and Clark expedition. However, many do not know how truly educated they were on so many subjects in their field. And then Romanticism. The idea of Romanticism emerged after the Scientific Revolution, the Enlightenment, and the Industrial Revolution. The romantic view of nature was that it is pristine, a human essence, beautiful, restorative, and unchanging. Furthermore, the British romantic view of nature is that in order to restore humankind, we must connect back to nature and revolt against the way the world was going. And when I refer to the way the world was going, I'm referring to the Industrial Revolution, which was moving people into cities and poverty, disconnecting from nature. And then through romantic poetry and writing, we can see more clearly through nature and unlock feelings to access truth. So the big question here is, did Meriwether Lewis possess a romantic view of nature while exploring the West? The answer is yes. In the beginning of his journal, he says, "The hills and river cliffs which we pass today exhibit a most romantic appearance. They are formed of remarkable sandstone." He then goes on to say, "To gaze on this sublimely grand spectacle forms the grandest sight I ever beheld." So first off, he uses words like sublimely, spectacle, grandest sight, and even romantic appearance, indicating his romantic view, as he is in awe of the beauty that is in front of him. And then he goes on to say, "From the reflection of the sun on the spray or mist which arises from these falls, there's beautiful rainbow produced, which adds not a little to the beauty of this majestically grand scenery." He uses words like majestically, grand, and beautiful, which is more evidence of his romantic view of nature. And then he says, "I could not perhaps succeed better than penning the first impression of the mind, that I might be enabled to give to the enlightened world some just idea of the truly magnificent and sublimely grand object which has from the commencement of time been concealed from the view of civilized man." So here he's talking about the pristine, primitive beauty of nature that is unknown to man, and he uses words like enlightenment, magnificent, and sublimely once again, and it just shows his romantic view of nature as he is in awe. So I wanted to make a connection to Lyrical Ballads by Wordsworth. In this essay, he illustrates that to restore the world, we must connect back to human nature and revolt against the way the world is going. Wordsworth embodies the ideals of British romantics, and that we must connect back to nature and revolt against society. And in a sense, the primitive West holds this ideal of connecting back to nature because it is untouched and undeveloped. He also goes to the rustic nature. He means rustic in that it is rural, plain, simple, and no value judgment, which is what the primitive West is.